Okay, guys, I'm not putting that much effort into this video. In fact, I'm not going to do anything fancy, no production values, none of that. Basically, you're going to be looking at his posts because I don't want to put that much energy into this, but I feel like this had to be responded to, okay? We've actually been letting a lot of things slide on TikTok. As we know, this guy thinks he's like the love guru on TikTok. He's actually convinced himself that he is the victim of a narcissistic relationship. He's basically calling his ex-wife a narcissist for leaving him. Okay, as crazy as that sounds. I think his TikTok handle is look at what no contact did to me or for me, whatever. I mean, it's not even worth it to check it out. It's the ravings of a lunatic. Nevertheless, I mean, and for whatever reason, I think this guy was on YouTube, saw the no contact rule, especially by that con artist Brad Browning, these relationship advice gurus. He thinks that that was actually going to work, that magically, if you do no contact, that this person that left you is going to come back. Yeah, spoiler alert, it didn't work. Anyways, to preface this video, I'm going to talk about everything that he basically posted in his latest community post. I'm just going to read off the stuff and react to it. But before I do that, I have to preface this with, you know, everything that this man has lied about since the beginning. I mean, probably going back a year, even more than that, exactly. And I actually had to go to the Discord so that I can get a little bit of help just to, you know, have some kind of recall as to how many things that this man has lied about. So in doing so, I actually jotted some stuff down, and it actually came out to 3 pages, which I trimmed a little bit because if not, we'll be here all day. So let's go ahead and get started before I actually go ahead and read this community post, which is just cat shit crazy. So before we begin, we have to talk about how he actually met his ex-wife, which is really gross, and it provides a lot of context for this. So this guy actually clocked out of his job, followed his ex-wife to a bus stop. She was underage. He was already an adult, mind you. And he basically followed her, which is really freaking creepy, to a bus stop and asked her out. I mean, just think of that scenario. Now, having said that, it really brings up a lot more context for the way that this guy has just been calling people pedos online with no evidence and no, no cause for it other than the fact that he just wants to be an asshole. So here's the thing, okay? While he was calling other people pedo, and again, a lot of what this guy says is just pure projection, he actually got involved with a minor when he was an adult. That's how he met his ex-wife, and a year later they were married. He lied about how he doxed the Act Man and how he got the Act Man's actual phone number. He lied about third-party software. He kept claiming that people were pirating his shit through third-party software. That was complete horseshit. I don't know if you can consider this a lie, but it's still a bit of a con. Actually, it's a very big con. So he also lied about how he financed his TVs. He actually had his wife finance the TVs, and he used a loophole in the Best Buy policy to return them. And he went so far as to create different accounts, or she actually helped him create different accounts so that he can bypass a certain day policy. I mean, that just sounds freaking pathetic. I know it's semantics, but still, he lied. He was lying there. He lied about having a store that had to shut down because of COVID. Okay. Oh my God. I can't. Okay. He lied about domestic abuse. Okay. Or what happened. He got arrested. He lied about the actual views on his channel. So we've now learned, because of his ex-wife, that he didn't think that one of his or several of his videos didn't do well enough, so he actually paid for views, which he was really shitting on other creators for doing. Again, a lot of what this guy says and does is pure projection. It's actually the opposite. So you can pretty much bet that if he's saying something or accusing someone else of doing something, it's exactly what he's doing. He lied about being hacked. Okay, so those disgusting Twitter tweets that he has out there, those were actually him. He was never actually hacked. We learned about this from his wife. I'm sorry, from his ex-wife. And you know what? She's a very credible person. I've had several conversations with her personally, and I don't see her as a liar, to be honest with you. Okay. Let's see what else. He lied about his wife's cheating on him. Okay. There's no evidence at this point that she stepped out on him, like whatever stupid way that he says it, or that she cheated on him. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Okay. He lied about his wife. No, I've actually already talked about that. All right. Stop the FOMO and being a Satanist. Okay. I mean, this is so stupid. I can't believe that this actually came up. He lied about other YouTubers being pedos. Okay. He lied about being a Marine. He lied for. Oh, he also lied about the Baker Act. Okay, so he got Baker Acted because he tried to off himself. I don't care. Whatever. YouTube demonetized. Who gives a shit at this point? He lied about how Baker Acts work. He manipulated the situation to get his wife to come back, and then when she left him again, he actually blames her for leaving him. Okay, because he tried to manipulate the situation and offing himself, which is freaking insane. All right. He well, this one's actually kind of stupid and funny. He actually thought that he owned the rights to the Deadpool mask. I mean, that's just stupid. Okay. He lied about the whole piracy. So Mischief, Actman, and I think it was Griffin Gaming. He basically lied that they were committing piracy because they were using video clips of his. Hello, this goes back to the fair act, the fair use issue. Okay, he lied about the harassing emails. He actually fabricated them. Then, of course, there's Paul the Tech Giant, one of his, well, I don't want to say his rivals because he's not even in the same league. But he actually lied that he was a bad dad because he had one of his daughters in the video. Whatever. Complete nonsense, guys. So look, I can go on and on. This is a lot longer list, but I realize this is taking up too much time. We're like 6 minutes into this video, and I'm just talking about how much this guy has lied. Just for some context, because I know people are like, oh, you got to see both sides. I'm gonna go by both sides, but I have to preface this by saying that this man is a compulsive and chronic liar. I mean, there's things that you don't even have to lie about, and he still lies. So, you know, this is where we're at. So let's get started. So he starts out this crazy shit by saying addressing allegations only leads to more smear campaigns. So I'll keep this brief to clear up some misunderstandings. As if any of this was a huge misunderstanding. I mean, he's under that delusion that this has all been just one giant misunderstanding and people just don't get him, okay? So imagine throwing away 30K to 40K or 30 to 40K worth of stuff because your wife's untreated OCD issues, scrubbing walls, floors, doors in your underwear. Why would you do this, okay? Why would you scrub walls in your underwear? I mean, why go to that? Whatever, okay? It's already sounding stupid. Even if I believed any of this, okay? And this is true, right? You decided to do this, okay? You took on that responsibility. You knew that your wife had some sort of OCD and you willingly did it, okay? As she, 24/7, had you both scrubbing so much that massive piles of Clorox wipes accumulated on the floor. I don't see this, but whatever. I will indulge this fucked up fantasy right now. While as to not mess it up, you let her draw out exactly where she needed you to scrub for her trauma. Okay, again, it's always her fault. It's always her trauma because it was much to help her to handle alone, and she needed your help. And as your husband, you just, for her, have been cheating on you the entire time. Okay, I probably screwed that up because this guy is kind of illiterate. Okay, so basically, I mean, he's under this impression that she was cheating on him the whole time, and somehow, because he was scrubbing walls in his underwear constantly, that obligates her to stay with him, okay? That's basically what he's saying in this part of the paragraph, which is really freaking incoherent. But again, this goes back to the central issue that, listen, you chose to be there. Whatever happened, whatever the hell you were scrubbing in your underwears or whatever, in your skivvies, okay? If that was an issue for you, if that was a breaking point for the relationship, then you should have ended it, okay? You can't come back now and say, oh my God, I did all these things. Poor me, I was scrubbing shit in my underwear for this woman, so that somehow obligates her to stay with me. You know, no, that's not how it works, man. If you didn't like scrubbing shit in your underwears, then you should have just left, okay? You should have taken your stuff, all the Clorox, whatever. If you wanted to be polite, clean up all that shit before you leave, and then leave the house and say, hey, look, I can't be in this relationship. But you willingly chose to be there, man, so you can't, like, you know, backpedal and be like, oh, all the stuff I did. I really doubt that somebody threw away $30,000 to $40,000 worth of equipment, okay? Again, and the reason that I doubt what he says is because he's lied so much about everything. This whole man's life is a lie. His whole life is a con, okay, that I highly doubt those figures at all. I also have to say 2 points here, and going back to the pedo thing. First of all, if you did not want to deal with whatever OCD and her trauma, whatever the hell, whatever like cryptic shit that you keep bringing up about her trauma, her fault, right? Then why did you get involved with somebody who was from, like, presumably a broken home, like you keep saying, or had a trauma? Why did you get involved with a child? Why did you take advantage of that? Why? Because you're a fucking predator, man, okay? You could have said as an adult, hey, you know what? I'm going to stay away from you. You're too young for me. But you're such a fucking douchebag that you decided, oh, you know what? I'm just going to take advantage of this situation. I'm going to start dating this girl. And before she can even realize what the hell she's doing or mature enough to make a decision, which I'm pretty sure you manipulated her the whole fucking time, you married this girl, okay? So please, don't freaking try to play the victim now. From the outset, from the very beginning, you should have known as an adult that you should not approach an underage girl who was not ready for that type of a relationship, okay? And as far as the courting process, come on, dude. I mean, what the hell were you even thinking? So sorry, guy, you're a fucking predator. Okay, this is more lunacy, guys, and this is a long one, but we'll get through it, okay? So imagine paying thousands more to break the lease to move into a new place because the old one is contaminated. Now, again, this is according to him. Apparently, he thought or she thought that the old place was contaminated, okay? Again, you decided to do that, all right? For her untreated OCD trauma. Again, he's fucking blaming her. He's blaming her for her OCD trauma. And this is a fresh start. She literally begged you in tears for you to support her mental health, just for her to cheat on you even harder the moment you do it. Okay, so again, I want to go back to this point. There is no credible evidence, and given the hell that this woman has been through in the past year, and something that I can't really go into because I don't want to break confidences, but the hell that this woman has been through in this past year, there is no way that I see this woman cheating at all. Okay, it just strains credulity at this point. Okay, he then goes on to say, going on a 9-day straight hookup session, staying out 7 to 10 hours at a time, each day setting up an exit strategy before throwing you away and having you seem or smeared like an abuser. Okay, listen, this just doesn't make sense. Okay, I don't know anybody, and I'm not saying I even believe this because this is complete horseshit. How are you gone for 9 days, 7 to 10 hours, okay, a day? There's not enough time, okay? You just can't do that. And given what I know about this situation, which I can't really talk about, there's just no way. I don't see anybody doing this, right? So let us assume, okay, to play the devil's advocate, that this was true. So why did you stay, bro? Like, why did you stay? Okay? If somebody's cheating on you, whatever, 9 straight days of hookup sessions, 7 to 10 hours a day, you chose to stay, okay? You made that conscious decision not to get your shit and walk away. And I know that your dumbass gets biblical and you're like, oh, in sickness and in health, till death do us part. That's what I signed up for. Dude, that is not human nature, okay? So if I were your friend, I would have said, dude, if she's doing this to you, then fucking leave her ass. You chose to stay. You chose to normalize that situation. Not that I even believe it, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. It goes to say, the moment you stand up for yourself and stop cleaning away her OCD trauma, again, blaming her, okay, being forced to take off your shoes at the door, there's nothing uncommon about that in Japanese culture. You take off your shoes, okay, it's a form of respect. And getting wiped down with Clorox bleach wipes multiple times before you can enter the home. Okay, dealing with the OCD issues. She swore she would stop once we got to the new place. Again, you signed on for this, okay? Listen, you make it sound so freaking horrible. Let us assume that she has OCD and she wants to wipe down, okay? You signed up for that. You were okay with that. You had no problem with it. You are not storming the beach at Normandy, okay? You are just taking off your shoes or whatever. Even if I believe any of this shit, okay, with her OCD, you decided to support this person. You cannot backtrack now and say it was a fucking horrible experience. Okay, you signed up for it. Again, this is the flawed thinking of this man. He thinks that just because he moved to a new location, that somebody who's suffering from OCD, that it's somehow going to magically go away. I don't know if you realistically thought that or you were just being an asshole with her. I mean, I can't. But he starts to say, as you literally burned out from it all, asking her to go to therapy. Okay, that's fair if he wants her to go to therapy, but she has to want to go to that, okay? And if she doesn't want to go, she doesn't want to go. Again, if that's your boundary, if that's your breaking point, you say, hey, listen, I've asked you to go to therapy, you don't want to go, then you leave the relationship. You say, this is a breaking point. Either you go to therapy or we're going to end this relationship. He says, 11 years pissed away and a family destroyed because one person was selfish and refused treatment to better her life. Well, dude, if she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't want to do it. Doesn't mean it destroyed your life. Okay, you could have walked away and you decided not to because whatever. This is my horror story, he says, as she runs to YouTubers giving half-truths and total lies to smear my reputation. Let me tell you something, my friend. Your reputation was shit, lower than alligator piss, even before she came along and gave testimonials of what was actually happening, okay? What your ex-wife did was just confirm all the shit that we kind of suspected about you, and she just confirmed it. You have no reputation on YouTube. I don't know where the fuck you get the delusion and the idea that you're a reputable person. Only the fucking idiots in your Discord, because it's a cult, think that you are actually a person of substance. I mean, I suppose in the shit show that is your echo chamber in your YouTube comments, which you highly filter anyway, I mean, I guess they think that you're reputable, but, you know, these people are not the brightest people in the world. And because you don't have the balls to let in any kind of discord or any kind of dissension, you know, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind. It's one giant miasma circle jerk, my friend. He then goes to say, remember, there are two sides to every story. I'm telling you this because you haven't lived my hell with this woman, and you can't believe her lies if you don't know why she's actually doing this. Okay, well, we know why she's actually doing this. And yes, there are two sides to every story. The problem is that there's her side, which she has receipts, and it actually coincides with a lot of your fucked up behavior. And then there's your side, which makes no sense, is completely ostentatious, and you have a long history of lying. So your version of events strain credulity. I'm sorry, I even said that wrong. You're making me dumber as I'm doing this. And then he says she's running off of a damaged pathology. Again, that's not the way the context that you use pathology, but you're a fucking idiot, so what else can I say that I try to help with? You can't help with a pathology, you asshole. You are not a psychologist. You are not a trained therapist. You can't believe everything an ex says about a man, okay? Yeah, probably not. You know, I imagine there's some things that maybe she might have over embellished, but I doubt that it's everything. It's like you saying that basically everything that's being said about you about other YouTubers is just a smear campaign. That is complete horseshit, and we have the receipts to back it up, okay? And honestly, I everything that she's told us has checked out. You know, I notice a common theme in every one of these community posts and every one of his TikTok videos. It's always someone else's fault. Everything that happens to him is because of external forces. It's never any accountability. It's never anything that you're doing. Again, just because you were scrubbing things, presumably, in your underwears, it doesn't mean that she's in any way obligated to stay with you. She made a choice. I'm going to get back to that. Then he goes on to put what I like to call these bullet points, I guess, of nonsense, because his ego just kicked in. Let my content show my expertise. Mother freaking caller, you have no expertise. You've got to be the most uneducated person I've ever come across on YouTube. You're not certified. You were basically some asshole that was representing, I don't know, Sony at Best Buy. Okay, you probably didn't even do that right. You had your wife financing your YouTube channel. You had this freaking loophole that you were using to take back TVs. All right, you learned everything that you learned from YouTube. You lied about having a store. You are not an expert in anything except chronically lying. You're just some guy that got a little bit of knowledge about TVs. You started selling shitty ass TV sittings that we even have actual documented freaking testimony from people whose eyes were fucking hurting after they used your $5 fucking buck settings, okay? That's all you are, dude. You stop having delusions of grandeur. This one I love. Let the stalkers and the haters show you their true motives for giving this publicity. Oh my god, dude. Listen, I never in my life had a restraining order put on me. I never got Baker acted, okay? And you have created a fucking media juggernaut on this entire situation with your bullshit community posts of your ex-wife going to fucking Hogsworth or wherever the fuck you guys were at. And then, of course, who can forget the love guru advice with your insane TikTok videos? And you know what? You went to another platform and you're so fucking crazy that you started shit with another TikToker who had nothing to do with you. Thankfully, the word is spreading and people are starting to figure out that, you know, all these things that you think you're a victim of narcissism, when in reality, you're the narcissist. You know what? Context is key. Ask why someone is doing something. You know what? That's a very good question. Why the hell are you still talking about this? Why are you making shitty ass, insane TikTok videos? Why are you leaving the platform? Why are you leaving your Discord? I mean, listen, the context for all of this is incredible. Yes, you're absolutely right. Why the fuck are you doing any of this? It certainly isn't helping your quote unquote reputation. So why the fuck don't you just let it go and shut the hell up already? He then goes to write in this crazy ass manifesto that he has. She wants to keep making our divorce a public spectacle. No, she doesn't. She doesn't even want to talk to you. She doesn't want to have anything to do with you. She's just talking about what's going on in a Discord. And we were asking her questions and she's filling in the blanks of what we already kind of knew. So while I don't want to give this any of my energy, yes you do, you keep talking about it on TikTok. I mean, I do you not understand how freaking words work? I hope this helps you to understand the level of love and dedication I had for my ex-wife. Dude, nobody gives a shit. She doesn't give a shit. They don't care what kind of love or dedication that you have. She has nothing. She has absolutely no desire to have anything to do with you. Okay? He then goes to write, along with a glimmer of what actually is going on here. What the fuck is going on here but the fact that she's quiet and she's just talking to people about what she experienced. Your ass is blasting all over social media. Okay? Why do you keep talking about it? Why do you keep bringing it up? I never abandoned her. Okay? She never said that you abandoned her. She wanted to leave. Okay? That was her choice. She stepped out. Again, this is the allegation that he's making, that she cheated on her. This is a stupid way that he talks. A cheater is always going to cheat. She never cheated on you. There's no evidence of that. Again, you're just talking shit. So let's please leave the rest of the courts, as everyone has an ex that talks crap about them to be scornful. Okay, yeah, everyone has an ex, but she is not looking for you. People are asking her questions, and she is disclosing facts about all of the horrible, fucking asinine shit that you have done for the past year. All the lies that you told, everything that we found out about you, she is just confirming. What you're essentially saying is that you feel that she's scornful because she's being honest about all the horrible shit that you've done. Okay? You don't like it. I get it, because you're being painted as the fucking monster that you are, but she's just being factual. Okay? She's not fabricating anything. She's not making anything up. She's got receipts, and based on the way that you've acted and your behavior, okay, it actually coincides. Pay it no mind and police others bringing this nonsense in our community. Again, here it goes. Here's the thing. Why don't you want people talking about this? Okay? Why don't you allow people to discuss it? Why don't you allow people to make up their own minds? Why don't you let people in your own fucking echo chamber make up their own minds? Why? Because you know that you're guilty of all this shit that you're doing, and you don't want to lose, the credibility with the last bastion of idiots that you still have that follow you and for whatever reason give you legitimate. I lost my wife 11 years to a mental illness. No, you didn't, motherfucker. You didn't lose her to a mental illness. You lost her because she finally woke up, realized what a crazy fuck you are, and she just left. Okay? Again, that was her choice. She couldn't be there for us in sickness and in health. I remain hopeful, willing to work out any issues at home, and she was currently... okay, I have to reread this because it's so fucking ridiculous. As she was and is currently out spreading her legs for another man to escape her healing towards a healthy life. You know what? Even if that were true, okay, Quantum, even if that were true, that's none of your fucking business anymore, okay? She doesn't want to be with you. She can spread her legs for whoever the fuck she wants to. That has nothing more to do with you. And you playing a victim, you're just coming off as pathetic, okay? Her healthy life, if she's saying she's healthier without you, then so be it, my friend. It no longer has anything to do with you. Marriage is a two-person effort. Okay, that's fine. That is completely fair. But she, of the two persons, no longer wants to be with you. Okay, so get the fuck over it. I pray none of you ever see the day when the other person stops showing up for you. Okay, again, that's fair. But that was completely her choice. Oh well, dude, get over it. She doesn't want to be with you. I keep reiterating this, okay? This is all that needs to be said on the matter. Please let it go. No, motherfucker, you need to let it go, all right? Because it seems like you can't get over it. And then he goes on this crazy conspiracy thing. No more DMs, no more comments, no more emails. Just please let me suffer through this divorce in peace. That's all I'm asking for. Okay, well, you know what? If you want to suffer it in peace, stop making TikTok videos. Okay, stop talking about it. Stop sharing shit like this on your community posts. Stop giving fodder for other creators to talk about it. But you don't want to do that because your ego won't let it go. Okay? Nobody is DMing you. Nobody is putting things in your comment section because you filter them anyway. Okay? And nobody's emailing you. This is all delusional shit in your mind, just like the emails that you made up. Just like every freaking lie that you've made up to help cope with the fact that somebody no longer wanted to put up with your shit, that they no longer wanted to finance your fantasy. They no longer wanted to finance your incredibly insane semblance of success. They just wanted out. And you need to fucking deal with that, okay? She doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't have anything to do with you. Don't have to keep writing these community posts. Most people don't even believe you except for the crazies that are in your comments section or in your Discord, which is virtually non-existent because you couldn't even fucking get that right. But Raudeza, why do you keep talking about it? Why do you even care? You know why we care, and as a community why we care? It's to push back on the insane propaganda, manipulation, horseshit that we've been dealing with this person for about a year. This is not about calling out his shit, getting into his personal, whatever the hell, even though it may seem like it because he keeps giving us fodder for it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to hold this man accountable for all the things that he's done. He's even more dangerous now because he's on TikTok and people are trying to communicate. He's actually got an entire community convinced that he's a victim of narcissism. Come on, guys. As long as you know in this, you're trying to tell me that Quantum TV is not a true narcissist in every sense of the word. Okay, everything that we've learned about this man in the past year and even going before that, there's just no way. So what we're doing and why we keep making these videos, okay, and I don't give a shit about what Nothing Untouched says about people being obsessed. Or that fucking guy's always wrong about shit anyway. And he's always trailing. I mean, basically, whatever. He doesn't really know what he's talking about. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he leaves a lot of facts out. We are trying to hold this person accountable, okay? For the things that he does, for the things that he says. I've said this before, and that's what the point of this. It's a counter narrative to the incredible amount of horseshit that this guy puts out. And we'll keep doing it, you know? As long as this guy keeps talking and keeps spinning a narrative that's full of a bunch of lies and just complete nonsense, we're going to keep calling this guy out. And I felt that I needed to make this video because this one was just, my God, complete fucking insanity. So Quantum, if you're out there, you really need to get some help, man. You know, get some therapy. You know, you keep talking about OCD and someone else's trauma. Honestly, I think you have probably suffered something that makes you the way that you are. Get some help, get some therapy. Seriously, get off social media. Thankfully, you got off TikTok. Just get the help that you need, man. You clearly need it, all right? I've said this before. You really need some help. Leave your fucking wife alone. It happened. It's over. She wants to have nothing to do with you. She's not looking for you. She has a restraining order. That's it, man. Let it fucking go. If you really are saying that you just want to move on, then stop talking about her. Stop talking about your wife, your ex-wife. It's no longer part of your life. Stop worrying about what she does. Has nothing to do with you. Okay? All right, guys. That's the video. I just had to respond to it. All right. I hope everybody has a happy 4th of July, and I will see you on the next one.